What's up, friends? Today I want to help you know whether or not you should back Kingdom Rush Elemental Upgrade. I'm Aaron, and welcome to Boardscape. Now, one thing of note is that this is going to be the second Kingdom Rush game in the series. The first, being Rift in Time, was actually on a Kickstarter in 2019, and this one, Kingdom Rush Elemental Upgrade, is on Gamefound. So if you go looking for it, make sure to go to Gamefound, not Kickstarter. This is going to be, as I said, the second game in the franchise, and it is doing okay for the first day. It's got over $250,000 raised, 2,600 backers, and there's obviously 21 days left to go. That's not terrible, especially when the first game, Rift in Time, raised only just over $1 million. They're already a quarter of the way there, and there will be a lot more as people catch on to the fact that this is out and that it is on Gamefound and not Kickstarter. So, this is going to be broken up into two sections. The first, I am going to run through this campaign and show you what is in this game, show you what is different from Rift in Time, and what you're going to be receiving. The second part is going to be where I explain who I think this game is for, who should back it, and who should not. If you want to go ahead and skip to that, then go ahead and look at the timestamps below, and you'll be able to find it. So, let's get into this. Kingdom Rush Elemental Upgrade is by Lucky Duck Games, and is a tower defense game for 1 to 4 players. Not really, it's 1 or 2 players. If you're playing more than that, then this gets bogged down. Anyways, that's for later. Kingdom Rush Elemental Upgrade is, as we said, a tile defense game where you are playing as a character and you're laying down tiles trying to stop the enemy tiles from reaching the exit. Throughout this game, you'll be battling monsters and bosses and just trying to stop them from entering your kingdom. So what's different about this game? Let's scroll down here. We actually have new heroes, and one thing to note is that if you know the Rift in Time game, or if you have it, that the heroes in both Elemental Upgrade and Rift in Time are going to be backwards compatible. You can mix them, you can match them, you can play with either game, it does not matter. So, we're going to get Alric, Blood and Sand. We're going to get Bruxa. Death is not the end. Deirdre, Purification is at hand. Alora, Winter Song, it's chilling time. And Sayatam, you fight like a dairy farmer. There's actually going to be another one that we will look in the stretch goals later. So these are the characters that you get. You get it 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 5 of them, 6 with the stretch goal. There might even be another one. We'll have to wait and see. But basically, you are going to be playing as one of these characters, and you use them and some of their abilities alongside the towers that you are placing in order to stop the enemies and cover up their tiles with the polyomino pieces. So what's new in this game? I keep saying Elemental Upgrade throughout the game, throughout this whole time, and it's Elemental Uprising. So, if you caught my mistake, good for you. It is Elemental Uprising. And they are going all out with the elements. They have taken out things in the first game, Rift in Time, such as the portals and things along those lines, and are now focusing on environmental effects. One here is the Magic Blossom, and this is going to actually add a tile to the game. I think we could see it up above here. Where is it here? Yeah, so we can see where they have them on the sides, and these tiles are going to be places that your heroes can go. And when they go there, then you're going to get this special ability that allows you to interact with the enemies in some form. So the question is going to be, is it better for you to send your hero to go ahead and try to stop some enemies, cover up some tiles, or is it better and more worthwhile to go for the Magic Blossoms? It's going to add a whole nother element that was not there before. The same is going to be with these volcanoes that you can see up here in this corner. These volcanoes are going to add an element where if you are next to it, and it blows up, you're going to take damage. So there's going to be that question, is it worth going next to it to cover up a tile, or is it better off to wait and stay away? That's a question that you're going to have to answer in the moment. So we've got hazards, we've got good things, all sorts of different environmental things to interact with, as well as environmental hordes. These magma elementals, as we see, have 4 spots and this symbol. And we see that this symbol means tough. Now, tough is going to mean that you can only damage 1 spot on that magma elemental with every attack, meaning you're going to have to attack him at least 4 times. You cannot cover him up all in 1 attack, only 1 spot. So that's going to, again, change the layout, change the way that you set up your towers, change what you do with your hero, knowing that these things might be coming and preparing to be able to damage them multiple times with multiple different attacks. We have the Hobgoblin Chiefs. As we can see, they also have tough, but actually take up 9 squares. So they are going to be even harder to hit and to kill than things such as the Magma Elementals. Even with 2 of them on there, that's only 8 squares. That is how tough these Hobgoblin Chiefs are going to be. And on top of having to hit them so many times, they actually have these special skull abilities, which says here, give them devastating special attacks if they are not covered up. So you're trying to cover those up, trying to damage him all at once, while taking care of all the other tiles, of course. So these mini bosses definitely seem exciting in what they are doing. On top of those, we have new tiles with the magic ability shields, or magical barriers on them, where certain magic attacks cannot penetrate or come through, depending on the direction that these blue shields are located. So again, that's going to change the way that you set up your tiles, they're going to change the way that you set up your towers, knowing that some of these tiles might be coming out. On top of all of that, of course, obviously we have new towers. We have the Dwarven Artillery, which is going to be hitting in multiple directions. And we have the Marksman Tower with the special Far Shot ability. So you're going to have to choose between 2 things. You can either deal in the arrow direction 3 damage, so more damage, or change it to the Far Shot attack, where you can hit anywhere on the board, but you're doing less damage. So this Marksman Tower is going to be bifunctional. Do you want to damage something right in front of you for 3 damage? Or can you use that 2 damage to hit something somewhere else? No hiding behind your shields now, monsters, meaning this can even hit through magical shields. Does not matter the direction. So these Marksman Towers are definitely going to add a new element. I can't get over that joke. A new way of playing this game with this Far Shot ability. Then we have new equipment and magical equipment stuff that I'll let you go ahead and look at for yourself. Because I really want to get down here to these tower modifications. These are going to be stickers that you place on your towers to improve them and change them. And this is going to be something completely different than what was in Rift in Time. Nothing like this existed. Throughout the game, you're going to be getting gold as a new currency, and that gold will be used to add stickers to some of your towers. As you add stickers, as you see here, this Mages Guild is now also going to be a bombardment. So you're going to, will you upgrade your artillery towers with soldiers to engage hordes and keep them in place for your bombardment? There's just going to be all sorts of different things you can do with this. One thing that a lot of people are worried about is the fact that they are stickers. Even though they are removable stickers, we have to make sure that they don't damage the tiles, that the stickers, since they are reusable, are fine. They go into their micro suction cup technology here. Again, you can read all of that. But for peace of mind, they are going to be giving 2 sets of stickers with every game. So if something messes up on one of them, then you actually have a backup. which I think is good. They knew that people are going to be worried about these stickers and went ahead and wanted to give a peace of mind by giving an additional set up front. As we said earlier, heroes are backwards compatible, and they have all the different language editions. So, how much is this going to cost? If you want the Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising and the More Than Shadows expansion, along with the deluxe upgrade, then this deluxe edition pledge is going to be $74. If you just want the retail edition, which will come with the base game along with the expansion, then that's going to be $60. I can say, and I'll get into it in a little bit, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you are going to be getting this game, then you better be getting that $74 one. Stay tuned to see why. On top of those base pledges, you have the addition to get everything that you want from Kingdom Rush Rift in Time. So you can get the base game for $60. Now, it does not come with the expansion like it did, or any stretch goals like it did in the original Kickstarter, but you can get the base game. I will say, though, that if you are looking to get the base game, and just the base game of Kingdom Rush Rift in Time, you can get it cheaper on some of the online stores like Miniature Market, which is actually, I missed the first Kickstarter. That's actually where I picked up my copy, and I think I paid $49 for it, so I saved $10 then from getting it here. But if you want everything, then they have the Emperor Collection with the giant chest. They have the expansions you can get if you're missing anything. The deluxe upgrade for the base game, as well as all the component upgrades that you could have gotten before, like the soldier miniatures, the 3D tokens, and the most important part of everything, the 3D towers. I will say, before I go on and look at these stretch goals, that if you are getting Kingdom Rush at all, or if you already have it, then you have to have these 3D towers. This is going to be almost essential for this game. They give you just some flimsy plastic to place your towers on in the base games, and these 3D towers actually take away some of that sliding that happens with those games. And again, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, so stay tuned. We have unlocked some various stretch goals. It says 8 of 9 unlocked. I assume there's going to be more. That's probably just 8 of 9 so far. What we have unlocked, though, are some new scenarios. The Phoenix miniature, along with all of their abilities. So the Phoenix is actually going to be one of the heroes that you can play as in this game, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's a fun sort of hero to play as. And then we're getting, as I said, some scenarios and null catapults, horde cards, just, you know, basic things that you would expect from the Kingdom Rush Kickstarter, based off of the Kickstarter stretch goals. And we can go down here and see all of that as well. So, I'm not going to go into all of this. This is all the stuff that you get in the game. Oh, these are those tiles I was talking about. They are, for lack of a better word, terrible. The horde trays, amazing. Build sites, terrible. Get the 3D towers. So if you are interested in this game, then I have a couple reasons that I think that you might be interested. I have a couple people who I think should back this game, and a couple people who I think should not. The first person that I think should back this game is the person that wants to get into the Kingdom Rush franchise. If you do not have a Rift in Time and you are interested in this game, then this is the one to get. Lucky Duck Games has said Elemental Uprising will be a better jumping in point. It will be a little more streamlined, a little simpler. Not super simple, but the portals could get confusing for people, stuff like that in the original game. So, if you want it, get it. Now's the time. Another person that I think might be interested in backing this, or should back this, is that if you have Rift in Time, have played it, and love it. If you know that you are a Kingdom Rush fan, if you have the base game, the original game, and you've played the heck out of it, then there's no reason not to get this, especially if you already know you like this franchise. It's the same thing with games like Zombicide. If you know you like the Zombicide games, then getting a new one is just like putting on top of cake. Is that a saying? Because if not, it is now. It's worth it, right? Plus, it's always worth putting pudding on top of cake, by the way. If you've not tried it, do it. The third person that I think should look into getting this game is the person that is interested in it and wants Gamefound to succeed. You see, this is going to be the first major platform to go against Kickstarter. Yes, they have Indiegogo. That's not really turned out the way a lot of people thought that it would. It's not been the good competitor to Kickstarter that people wanted it to be. Gamefound is actually part of the Awaken Realms people. So these are people building this platform for stuff like this. This has already been a platform for a while, and now they are adding this whole new section to it. And if you want a good competitor to Kickstarter, and everybody should, then we want this to succeed. The first game on Gamefound was ISS Vanguard. It did very well, and this next one, Kingdom Rush, I think that they are setting themselves up perfectly, as this is obviously going to do well as well. So if you want Gamefound to succeed and you're interested in the game but you're not really sure, $60, not that bad. The fourth person that I think should look into backing this game is if you are a solo player or a two-person player. Now, as I have said, I have not actually played Rift in Time, but almost everything that I have read, everything that I have watched has said that this game is great solo, great two-player, starts to get bogged down in three-player, and just absolutely not worth it at four. So if you play solo, if you play duo, then this is definitely worth looking into. Now, there are some people that I think should not back this game, or if they're thinking about it, should really think hard before just hitting back this project. The first person that I think should think before backing this is the person who has Rift in Time and has not played it. That is me. I have not played Rift in Time, even though I own it. And that is actually going to be the reason that I am not backing this game. Now, I will say that I hope to get Rift in Time played within the next 21 days, but even then, there are a couple Kickstarters coming up that I am interested in more, and with limited funds, I have to pick and choose. And since I have not played Rush in Time, and I have at least 10 good games in there to get played, or 10 good scenarios, I don't need this one yet. If I end up enjoying it more than I could ever imagine, then I might back this, but with the new Root expansion coming up, with Bloodstone coming up, with other things, I just don't have the funds right now. Which is another thing. If you don't have the money, don't back this. That's common sense. The second person that I think should not back this game is if you are either tired of Polyomino games or not a fan of them. Polyomino has really taken off over the last couple years. Games like Isle of Cats, Feast for Odin, just what's that new zoo game? New York Zoo. All these games are using these Polyomino pieces, and Kingdom Rush is no different. As we saw down here, all these are Polyominoes, and you are using those to cover up the enemies. Now, yes, this is a tower defense game, but it is a Polyomino placing game at its heart. So if you don't like that mechanic, the tower defense does not make up for it. The final person that I think should consider not getting this is if you don't like fiddliness. This game is, from videos that I've watched, people I've talked to, full of fiddly pieces. As you can see, let's go back down here to what we get. Where is it? Here we go. Look at all these Polyomino damage tiles. We get all these different tokens. And these are just the tower tiles. Now we have stickers. We have all these towers. When we get to the people, they all each have their own Polyomino pieces. So there's just a lot to keep track of. which is why I said at the beginning that if you are interested in this game, you need that deluxe edition. That deluxe edition box is going to give you a storage. The Kingdom Rush, the base game, does not have good storage. The deluxe edition has storage for your tiles, it has storage for your towers, it has storage for all these polyomino pieces. So if you want to cut down on the fiddliness, it's definitely worth that $15, especially because from videos that I've watched, you are able to just basically take that extra box out and boom, you're done, you're set up. So if you don't like fiddliness, this might be a game to reconsider backing. So let's go through those again really fast. Who do I think this is for? I think that you should consider backing this if you are looking for a good entry point into the Kingdom Rush series, if you have Rift in Time, have played it and loved it, if you want Gamefound to succeed and do well, especially with this being only their second game, and, well, that was it. Oh no, the good solo duo game. If you play solo or with two people, then this is a great game, from what I've been told, to play at those levels. If you primarily play 3 or 4 player, you might want to reconsider. Other reasons to reconsider is that if you have Rift in Time and have not played it, there's no reason to spend money on this. You obviously have not spent the time to play the original game, but you spent the money. Are you going to do the same thing with this? Let's be real. You should also consider not backing this if you are tired or not a fan of polyomino pieces, because this is a polyomino game at heart. And finally, if you are not a fan of fiddliness, you're going to be looking through these polyomino pieces, trying to find the correct tiles to place on the board. You're going to be taking them off, throwing them back into the bucket, finding other ones. You're going to be switching these pieces in and out, left and right. These towers are going to be going in and out, left and right. It's just very fiddly. Now, I said that this deluxe edition helps with that fiddliness, and I would say that the 3D towers also help. So that's only going to add $25. I love that they've done this, that you can get the base game for $60, the deluxe edition for $75, and even add the towers for $25. I mean, how many Kickstarters, and they did that with the original too, but how many Kickstarters would throw all of this together in a $100 package and say, this is the only version that you have access to? This gives you options. I like options. I would much rather have these options and still spend $100 than to be told I have to spend $100 and get all of these, especially if I'm not interested in some of it. But these 3D towers are going to add just little stands pretty much that you can put all of your towers on. One, it enhances the game thematically, almost like no other component that I have ever seen. It actually adds the tower to the tower defense here. Without these, it's basically 2D plane defense. This makes it a tower. And as I said before, makes it less fiddly when you put your towers on it, because now they're not sliding all over the place. They're easier to grab off, and you're not really worried about bumping other things beside it. So, if you want to cut down on fiddliness, spend $100, get the deluxe edition and the 3D towers. Let me know what you think about Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising in the comments below. While you're down there, go ahead and hit subscribe and check out the new Patreon. I will have a video coming out soon on the Patreon to let you know what to expect with that, as well as what to expect with this channel going forward. So thank you for joining me here at Boardscape, and as always, game on.